All right, welcome to another episode of Retrotopia, where we got our special friend guest Joe, also commonly known to his friends as Wildcard.
I know. Special is loosely tossed out, but okay, sure, yeah. Let's go with it.
Super special.
Yeah, you're special. And
I'm
this
special
week
now, anyway.
Yeah. This week we are talking about Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo.
Why are we talking about Mario Kart there, Wildcard?
I don't know. I mean, it just seems like there's some weird obsession with me and Mario Kart over in the Remember the Game Discord and everything, but I got sucked into here, and now I'm talking about it on this platform.
And we're talking about the original Mario Kart, though.
Yeah.
You've dabbled in the Mario Karts, hey?
Oh, just a bit. Not so much this one, but this was a learning experience that, we'll get into here shortly.
Yeah. What else? I mean, what have you been playing this week? That's as we do when we start a show, we talk about what we've been playing for the week. So we'll start with you, Wildcard. What have you been playing?
Let's see. I just started Jedi Fallen Order out of left field. It was sitting in the library. Got it for free on PlayStation Essentials. Never touched it, so going through
Star
that.
Wars nerds.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I got to get into that one myself.
But that, let's see, just played through Spider-Man 2 again on the PS5.
Fuck, I haven't even played it through it once yet.
They dropped New Game Plus, so I was like, I wanna. And
okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then that was just overly taxed.
I love New Game Plus. Like, what a great idea that was.
And just so you can feel like a god? Yeah.
It came from Chrono Trigger.
Oh, I haven't heard anyone mention that game. Huh. Weird.
So was that New Game Plus like a DLC almost, or like, is it the way you said it made it sound like it wasn't there before?
Yeah, there were issues with who was as Insomniac when their leak happened and everything.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and then they had to end up delaying New Game Plus, so it just came out instead of being there at launch. And
Okay.
yeah, there needs to be more game there. But anyways, that's a conversation for a different day. What about you guys?
Nice. Brian, you want to go? What have you been playing?
No,
this
you
week?
go ahead. You go ahead there, Sam. I'm having another classic mouse issue.
Uh-oh. Mice issue. Give it some cheese. Yeah, this week I've been playing, let's see, primarily Pokemon Blue. I've been playing that. I played that on my business trip because it's easy to like take. I really miss a small handheld. You can never
I know.
You can never discount the small handheld. It's very nice. The Switch is even a little big. It's nice to have that big screen, but really when you want something handheld.
Oh yeah, you want something that can fit in your back pocket and just you can whip out in the middle of business meetings and everyone stares at you.
Exactly. It's just like the CEO of the company's talking there. He's like, "Hold on, sir, I almost got Mewtwo."
Yeah.
You gotta assert dominance.
I do like that small handheld experience, so I miss that. So that's been fun to do. I've also been playing Mario Kart to prepare for this. So you'll hear my thoughts on that in a little bit. And then Shining Force. I've gotten quite far into Shining Force, and I'm kind of stuck right now. So we'll see where I go with that next. But
we'll be recording that next episode.
Yeah. So in the timeline, for all you future listeners, go back and listen to our Shining Force episode if you're new, and you can see what we thought about Shining Force.
About 1 hour of Brian crying.
Yeah. I appreciate you crying. It makes me happy.
Ah, thanks, buddy.
Anytime.
All right, what's Brian been playing this week?
I'm gonna shock you here a little bit, but I started Pokemon Red after you told me you started Pokemon Blue.
Yes,
and I'm
Finally.
playing it on my modded Vita just because, like you said, it's great to have that small screen, and
yes,
it just like this is the only Pokemon game I played, but I played Yellow version, and this is just taking me right back.
Yep.
A little bit rough starting out there because I couldn't find Professor Oak in the first town, and I started getting pissed off because I didn't want to walk into the grass because
there's 3 houses.
But he's not in any of the houses.
Okay, but
so you have to walk around. It's like, Grandpa's not here right now. And then what you have to do is you have to actually walk out of the village, and as you walk into the grass, he shows up and then brings you back, and that's when you get your Pokemon. But knowing full well the monsters are in the grass, I didn't want to walk into the grass, so I never did that. It only took about maybe 10 minutes of walking around, but yeah, it's just like I forgot how to trigger that event.
No, you need to go in with like childlike wonder of like, I don't know how to play this game. Ooh, look, grass. And then you get assaulted by a Rattata or a Pidgey or something.
All right, I'm putting out a call for a Pokemon ROM hack called Pokemon Brian version, where you just get stuck in Pallet Town for the entire time, and
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you can do
don't get a
everything.
starter,
There.
you don't do anything.
Yeah,
Oh, you
remember
should
we
have
were
made him
having a-
play the Moemon version. Really get the
Well-
cute little anime girls going.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the thing is, you remember we were having that conversation when I opened up the ROM I had? All those versions were in there
So why didn't you play the cute anime girl version?
because
Oh,
I think that's kind of gross.
so you have that ROM where you have a ROM where you can just like pick from all the different hacks and stuff too.
Yeah, it seems that way because I just
shit.
selected the ROM in my my emulator there, and then all of a sudden it opened up a whole list of games there, and like all those versions we were talking about were in there.
You
That's
might have
pretty
to
good
share that
ROM,
file
yeah.
with me because that sounds pretty cool.
I think I already did,
Did you really?
but yeah, that might be
Nice.
the end of the show because Sam is too busy in the bathroom. Yeah, I can't come out right now. I'm washing my face.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, other than that, I've been playing Balatro, that poker roguelike game that has just basically consumed my entire week.
It's a
like-
roguelike poker game. Is it kind of
Yeah.
like Dicey Dungeons?
Kind of, but all you're doing is you have like cards and you build poker hands to get chips to beat the score, which gets you through the different like small blind, big blind, and then the ante, which is the boss, I guess you'd call it. And you get different types of decks and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's really hard to explain, but you progress so far, and as you do certain things like meet certain milestones, you unlock these jokers, which are kind of enhancement cards.
Mm-hmm.
So you go back into the game, you play again, you buy these jokers, and they'll actually give you multipliers because some of the scores get pretty high there, and you have to make sure that you figure out the best system to get the maximum amount of points. It's insanely fun.
Dang.
No, I
Like,
was
I don't
watching
even
you
know how to
earlier. It looked
describe it.
interesting.
Like this is a game that's supposed to be coming out on the cell phones there, and it will eat up my entire life.
Oh, if it goes mobile, yeah, I'm gonna get into that real
It's
quick.
the perfect game for mobile. Like I play it on my Asus Ally there, and
Yep.
it's just like basically a gigantic ass mobile device right now because it
Yeah.
has a touch screen, but it is really, really fun.
Oh, that's kick ass.
Nice.
And by the time you hear this podcast, I'll probably have quit and hid away in the bathroom. I'm cleaning my face as I play Balatro.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
All right. So that's everything. Everybody's happy now with what we're playing?
I mean, happy is a relative term, but sure, yeah. Okay, yeah, happy.
Yeah. Great.
Anything
Yeah,
else
you
going
go
on
on.
for you guys, or should we jump into some comments? Or actually, why don't we quick pause and just say that if you would like to find us on the internet, you can find us at Linktree. It's linktr.ee/Retrotopia, and that's where you can find the link to our Discord, Twitter, among some of the other things. I believe it's got an RSS feed to the show, which if you're listening, hopefully you've already found it,
Yeah, and the email as well.
and the email. So, and we'll be updating that very shortly with some additional social media goodies.
When do you think, like, what's his face that owns Twitter now is going to change the name back to Twitter instead of X?
Oh, he probably won't. He's too big of a narcissist.
Sounds like I'd
Yeah.
get along with him.
You're one to talk.
Huh?
Jesus Christ. Just come right at me. It's like, hey, welcome to my house. Like, well, fuck you. That's my bed now.
Yeah, exactly. That's not what you do when you go over people's houses?
Yes. Nobody invites me to their house, so no.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I get that
Yeah.
sometimes.
I love this. The attacking already begins again.
Here we go.
All right. So, yeah, so we have social medias and stuff like that. The link was given to you. Wildcard, aka Joe, has interrupted again.
That won't happen much.
Yeah, so Sam's flow is completely broken right now.
No, it's all right.
I thought you were done.
But let's start. Let's listen in to some comments from our listeners. That sounded stupid. Yeah. So we have some comments from our listeners. So why don't you take that first one, Mr. Wildcard?
Of course. All right. So first one's from Mr. Unbuckled Cape, and it says, "Who's Wildcard? I know a mild card, but not a wild card." So
Wonderful
Awesome.
name.
yeah, it's great. This is something that spawned over in the Remember the Game Discord. It's like a Patreon exclusive Discord that a good chunk of this community has come over from. But a lovely, lovely moderator over there decided to flip my name backwards and flip the W upside down from Wildcard and change it to Mildcard. And wouldn't you know it, it just decided to stick,
Yeah,
whether I wanted it to or not.
it's almost like people don't need a reason to, like you.
No, not at all. It's not. It's like I almost have a target or something
Yeah,
that
you kind of created a legend too big to ignore.
I just wanted to play Mario Kart with some people, and it went places.
Oh yeah, it went really far. It was an impressive community you built in there, so much that you almost wrecked the Discord.
Some would
Well,
argue
indeed,
it's still
Mild
getting
Card.
wrecked.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah.
it probably is. All right, moving on to the second question. Sam, do you want to take this one, or will I?
Yeah, sure. I'll take it. This is from Sir Francis Cake, who says, Wildcard and Captain N have done a great job encouraging people to play games together on Discord, mostly in the Remember the Game community for now. So my question for all of you is, what is your favorite couch co-op gaming memory? It's a good one. Let's start with Wildcard. What's your favorite couch co-op gaming memory?
Favorite? Oh, there's a couple, but first one that came to mind, I mean, it's on brand, was beating Mario Kart Double Dash with a friend. It was beating that obnoxious play all 4 cups in a row difficulty and beating that on mirrored and just throwing controllers in the air and screaming and then hearing my parents telling us to shut up or being too loud. It's a good memory.
That was last week.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still in my parents' basement.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise most.
Surprise your
Shut
wife,
the
but
fuck
wouldn't
up
not
down
me.
there.
She knew what she got into. It's fine.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah. What
I'll
about you?
take the second one there, Sam, because
Yeah.
you read the question. But my favorite coach co-op memory is actually when I was young and before the internet existed and stuff like that. You had the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, and somebody had a birthday party, so we all just grab our games and we go over to that kid's house and sleeping bags out, chips and pop all night, pizza for dinner, and we just spammed Nintendo games, 2 players, the entire night. That was the best time of my life.
Yeah,
And
for
all
sure.
downhill from there.
Yeah. I'd say for me, I mean, GoldenEye and or Perfect Dark are probably right up there as far as like not co-op, but definitely doing death matches and trying to kill each other. But I think the one that takes it for me is Star Wars Battlefront 2. And then, this is recent in my memory because I just picked up the I don't know if it's like a remaster or whatever, the classic collection on Switch, and played it with a buddy over the weekend, and it was brought me right back. It was a good time. So I'd
Nice.
say my favorite couch co-op memory is Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Awesome. All right,
All
I'm
right.
going to take in the last question here, and it comes from Savagery, aka the Hoagie Man. And he says, man, they just be letting anybody on the show.
Yeah.
But seriously, what's a gaming experience or moment that genuinely made you sad? Go ahead, Wildcard.
Well, let's see. A moment that makes me sad now is it's more of just disappointment in myself at this point is let's see. I was that guy that I'm about to lose and would kick off the council and just be like, "Oh, weird, something happened." It won me douchebag of the year for 2017. That was great. Yeah.
2017 through 2024.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I held it strong. I used to have like somebody made me like a phallic shaped trophy for that too. I think I lost it in a move, unfortunately.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, what is the game that genuinely made you sad? Because I know a story that just made me sad.
Man, I have to say this is a tough question for me because games there are definitely games that have moments, but games don't hit me the same way that like a book or a movie or a song might. So I don't know that I necessarily have one. I mean, I can be generic and say that, like Aerith in FF7 is definitely one of those kind of moments. And
It didn't make me so much sad as I was shocked.
yeah. But then like you hear the song or like you see like flashbacks of it and like what's the movie?
Advent Children, yeah.
Yeah, there's like parts of Advent Children and it's like, oh, she died. But anyways.
The normal human reaction to death.
Yeah.
Aw.
No.
What about you, Brian? My answer was lame.
Well, my answer is not Final Fantasy VII, but I just finished the Rebirth there, and they took on some of the stories of the characters, and they really, really nailed it. Like, I'm not going to give any spoilers, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, if you're invested in the character development that it's brought forward, I mean, some of the story arcs were just fantastic and sad. But for me, it's actually, again, it's a newer game. It's actually in Sea of Stars. And I'm not going to get too deep into it, but if you've played it, you know of the one character named Garl. And his story is, he hits a point in the story arc where you have like this really sad moment, and it's drawn out for longer than it should be because it's just sad the whole time. And I really liked the character Garl, and I had to turn the game off because I was so sad. Like, it hit me so hard when this like really tragic moment happened. So,
Hero was expecting you to say something like yada 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 Chrono Trigger yada yada.
There's
Almost,
nothing
though.
sad in Chrono Trigger.
I don't know.
It's pure happiness.
How would I know? Anyways,
Yeah, exactly. How would you know?
I tried.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do enjoy Garl. Garl was fun. I didn't finish Sea of Stars. I played like a good chunk of it though, and I
Oh
quite
man,
enjoyed
like
Garl.
if you're not sad, then you haven't hit the point I'm talking about.
I haven't even touched that thing yet.
Well,
I'm
for
hoping
sure
to
I
pick it up when that couch co-op update drops.
Yeah, it's like an homage to Chrono Trigger, a game I rarely talk about.
Rarely.
We've only mentioned like 5 times since we started talking about Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's because somebody won't let it go.
Never.
You are not known for holding holding on to things for too long.
No, not at all.
Never.
I won't
No.
beat a dead horse into the grave.
Jesus, you beat him down to China.
Yeah. If, enough willpower and time. Yeah.
All right, I think that's it for the questions.
Yeah, thanks everybody for the questions. And before we start our Mario Kart discussion, Wildcard has taken the time to give us a little spiel about Mario Kart. So take it away.
Hello, you lovely people of Retrotopia. It's your bestest friend in the whole world, Wildcard. And I'm here to blow your feeble little minds with my vast knowledge of the ultimate racing game, Mario Kart. Now, I'm not just reading words off a script that I was forced to read for my court-ordered community service. I've been riding the Mario Kart wave for as long as I can remember, and let me tell you, it's not just a game, it's a way of life. I've navigated the Mushroom Kingdom with Mario, burned rubber with Luigi, and left rivals in the dust with Princess Peach. This isn't just a game to me, it's a strategic masterpiece on wheels. From perfectly timed boosts to executing a flawless drift around a bend, I've honed my skills and become what some people may call a Mario Kart king.
Oh, God.
The tracks themselves are like old friends. I've conquered Bowser's castle with a smirk, danced through the vibrant chaos of Toad's Turnpike, and braved the notorious Rainbow Road with nerves of steel. Those jumps? I've soared through the air, leaving opponents below in the dust. Each victory, each defeat, it's all part of the wild ride that is Mario Kart. And as I rev my virtual engines for the next lap, I can't help but take a nostalgic pit stop. The journey began for me on a friend's iconic Super Nintendo Entertainment System, where the pixels were almost as bold as the Genesis, the music was catchy, and Mario Kart became more than just a game. It became Well, to be honest, it became a way for me to destroy friendships and, make a lot of enemies. Those classic tracks, the familiar chime of collecting a power-up, and the sheer joy of mastering the art of drifting started right there on the SNES. So, to all my fellow kart racing enthusiasts, let's raise a drink and celebrate the roots of our adoration. The original Mario Kart laid the foundation for this thrilling ride, and every time I fire up this classic, it's a nod to where it all began. As I navigate the modern circuits with the skills honed on the SNES, I can't help but cherish the memories of those early races. It's not just a game, it's a legacy. And the Super Nintendo Mario Kart is where my journey as a kart racing champion truly kicked into high gear. So, whether you're a veteran of the SNES tracks or a newcomer to the Mario Kart realm, let's keep the engines humming, the banana peels flying, and the memories rolling. Here's to the timeless joy of Mario Kart and to the Super Nintendo. This console started it all, leading to more laps, victories, and shared moments on the virtual asphalt. See you at the finish line, my fellow racers.
All right, that was absolutely terrible. Wildcard, you have disappointed me completely. Even though I was the one who edited that together, it was poorly edited, and I'm blaming you.
Yeah, but you'll still sign my documents for community service, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was part of the deal.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, I need those hours logged.
But the hours don't count as much because I'm Canadian and the exchange rate is terrible.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, well, I don't know. Does this podcast count? Because, I can drag this. This could be your first 3-hour episode.
Yeah, that'd be the first time that me and Sam actually walked away to go get dinner and then come back and you're still going.
Still talking to myself in the corner. Yeah.
I don't even notice we're gone. You're just like asking questions and still waiting for answers, but cutting us off anyways.
Yeah.
I could see it. Me and the other voices in my head can have a great conversation without you.
All right. Speaking of the other voices in our head, we have a Discord and we have a bunch of people who wrote in this week to talk about Super Mario Kart or Mario Kart. Is it just Mario Kart? I can't remember.
I think it's Super Mario Kart.
Yeah, I should have researched that before we did the episode. But anyways, so yeah, we're going to read some comments about the game before we actually get into our discussion. So Wildcard, again, as our guest, you can take the first question and we'll just rotate through from there.
All right. So the first question comes from Super Dave. And it says, going back to the controls of Mario Kart SNES after an extended amount of time feels like driving on a surface slicker than oily owl shit.
Oh, the man has a way with words.
Yeah. If I could do a southern accent to really sell it, but it ain't gonna happen. All right, so Super Dave continues and says, but after a few races, the muscle memory returns, and I remember why this game launched the best-selling franchise in Nintendo's library next to the title man himself. And it's refreshing to not have to worry about the blue shell, although Zeus will still be just as annoying with how bad lightning can screw me over in the middle of a turn. Never on a straightaway. I think I butchered like the tail end of that, but whatever. Lightning sucks.
No,
got it.
Just like Super Dave.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Sam, do you wanna take the next one?
Yes, I will. This comes from Wolfbane, who says, I rarely played the Super Nintendo version, but I am undefeated on the Wii version. I also can't use the bikes, and I'm not allowed to play as Yoshi. I'm assuming that means you've got a handicap there, so that's pretty impressive.
I'm curious who enforces this, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. Love the game, love the camaraderie, and love the whole franchise. Yes, 100%.
Oh yeah, couldn't agree more with the franchise.
Absolutely. All right, so next comment comes from a guy who does things. He says, yes, Mario Kart. I finally remember when this game came out. Lots and lots of fights. This game probably ended more relationships and secret Bumble accounts. No matter what Sam says, DK was the best character. If only it was as good of a game as F-Zero.
Wait, did I not say DK is the best? I've always played as DK.
Also, DK's not even in this.
No, it's Donkey Kong Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's not let this guy eat us away.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, Wildcard, you're taking the next one.
All right. This comes from Mr. Sir Francis Cake. I was a Sega kid until the Nintendo 64, so I missed the original Mario Kart. However, my roommate in college had a SNES, and I played it for the first time then. I'm sure everyone will comment how slick the controls feel, and it was like racing on ice. I was absolutely awful. It was fun to see the beginnings of what spawned a massive gaming franchise and inspiration for so many kart racers. Mario Kart still has this novelty and charm to, oh my god, whatever, is so hard to deny. My biggest critique is there is no Wario, and Vanilla Lake 2 can absolutely fuck off. It says edited.
Oh,
I don't know.
I can't
yeah,
stand
because I
Vanilla
copied
Lake.
and pasted it. The edited is not.
Yeah, no, my brain's completely shut down through that one, and I read the thing in parentheses, so we're good.
Yeah, Vanilla
Awesome.
Lake sucks.
Oh yeah, it can eat a chode. It's bad.
Sam, let's carry it on forward.
All right, Unbuckled Cape says, I've attempted the OG Mario Kart, and it's tough from what I remember, but I would like the feather power-up to come back. Absolutely. Also, I'm sorry for calling Wildcard Mildcard
God
earlier.
damn it.
I always get beat up on when karting with him, and I may have some resentment because of it.
Everybody does. It's allowed.
Oh yeah,
We accept you here at Retrotopia with open arms
even
on
me.
your wild card hate.
Oh, everyone else. Never mind if that's your banner. Yeah, no, okay, understood.
All right, moving to the next one. I'll take Savagery, the Hoagie Man again. This was a fun sleepover game for its time, but has obviously been improved upon since then. But you know what they say, you have to start somewhere, and I'm glad Nintendo made this entry for such an iconic franchise. That is true.
Hell yeah. All right, bring us home, Wildcard. Take that last one.
I mean, I think I can handle reading this one. I would hope.
We'll see.
So the last one's from a Mr. J Nasty, and it simply says, "Bring back the feather."
I would have
Yeah,
laughed
he
so
is not
hard if you
wrong.
like stuttered or
I
stumbled on
Oh,
that.
that
I
would've been great.
really contemplated just butchering it, but
Really?
I figured I
Oh.
should at least get one.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we
I
gave
agree.
you the
That
easiest
feather's awesome.
I find it
Yeah, the
completely
feather-
useless, but I don't know.
It's good in certain parts, like in the first ghost house there, you can do the jump over the gap and
Yeah.
cut a bit of the track off. But
In Mario Circuit, you can just straight up jump over complete hairpin turns and cut off huge, like if you've got one, you can cut off huge sections of a course just by like jumping over a wall.
See, you assume I'm a person that's good at this game and can pull off stunts like that. Not a chance.
all right, well, with that comment, let's actually get into the game.
Yeah, it's like-
Get into the game discussion here. So, as always, first thing we're going to do is discuss why we picked this game. And Sam, I'm going to let you kind of sound off about this because I was the one who picked the game, so I have the actual answer. But I want to hear why you think this is a good game to talk about.
Well, it's the origin point. It's like ground zero for all of the, not only Mario Kart and all of its iterations, but the kart racers in general. I mean, you've got Crash Team Racing, and there's Lego Racers on the 64. I think I had that game. You know, like we don't have, you know, my daughter doesn't have Hello Kitty Cruisers for her Switch without Mario Kart paving the way for that type of game. So it is a very important game, even if it's a little bit rough now to play, but definitely one that we need to talk about.
Yeah, Wildcard. What about you? Like, what's your initial thoughts on this game?
It's steaming hot garbage, and I hate it.
All right, that's another episode of Retrotopia.
No, I grew up like Sega Genesis like Sam, so I had no experience with this thing. I think I touched it twice growing up, like over a friend's house or something, but nothing that ever stuck. But going back to it now for like a real first experience, oh yeah, I know I'll stick with like our current gen Mario Kart and 64 going forward. Oh my!
It has
Yeah.
certainly been improved upon.
Yeah, no, I understand it's necessity to have everything else, but oh god, I hate this thing.
It definitely yeah, I only played it when I would either be at a friend's house who had a Super Nintendo or a cousin's house who had a Super Nintendo, and I was such dog shit at this game. I just could not get the feel for it back then.
No, see, my history with this game is right from the day it was released. We got it for Christmas after it was released, so not right from the day. But yeah, this was just one of those games that I played so much that I was actually good at it back in the day. And somehow I've lost that muscle memory. Playing it again, I was a little bit rough. Like somebody mentioned it, it's like driving on ice. And the Mode 7,
Oh,
as much as I love it, does not hold up.
I hate
But
Mode 7.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's a little rough for the type of game that it is nowadays. Like you wouldn't do this nowadays, obviously.
yeah,
No.
absolutely. But the real reason this game was picked is because Wildcard actually runs a Mario Kart community over in the Remember the Game Discord, which you can
Whoop,
join
whoop.
by joining his Patreon. But every Saturday, he got a group of people together, and it kind of grew and grew and grew. So I decided to reach out to him and see if he wanted to join us. And this is the game I picked. I didn't know he actually despised it, so it was not on purpose.
I kept
I
that
just
under
figured
wraps.
there was a link. Yeah.
No,
I
I
thought
figured
it
I'm
shit
like,
all over
this
my
will be funny if I just really, yeah. So I just figured, you know what? Let's just wait until we hit record, and I'll let you know how much I absolutely
hit
hate
record. Yeah, right.
Oh shit, that's right.
this. Don't worry.
Welcome
That's
to
what we're
take
supposed
two.
to do.
But yeah, that's pretty much the reason. My history with it is just I was like any kid with the Super Nintendo. I played everything Mario except for, well, no, even Mario's missing. But
Gross.
it was fun. I loved it. Like, it was great. And it really did build on, like Sam said, the kart racer, and it moved forward into, a future Mario Karts, Diddy Kong Racing, all those different types of kart racers that are out there.
The
When you
very
spawn a genre,
oversaturated market that it
Yeah.
is now.
Yeah,
when you spawn a genre, you get talked about.
that's right.
That's true.
But we're going to get into the sequence of the podcast now. So there is no story in this game, so we're going to skip over that whole story thing. I mean, Mario, Peach are hanging out with Bowser and Donkey Kong Jr., two people that really wrong them a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, for
But
some
hell.
reason, everyone decided to just call a truce and go karting.
Yeah, exactly. It's
As
like,
you do.
I'm not kidnapping the princess this week. It's it's Ramadan. I assume that Bowser is Islamic.
It's Ramadan.
Sure.
I don't know. My neighbors are Islamic, and they have a big sign out front letting me know it's Ramadan right now. So
Okay.
that's
Well,
been
that's
in
why
my
it's on
brain
your
'cause-
mind.
Yeah, I
Well,
was
yeah,
like, that
because
was a
I don't want to
poll.
go out. I don't want to go out at noon and start cooking food there because I feel like it's being a dick. So I don't want my neighbors to hate me. So I try to be a little bit respectful of their religious beliefs and stuff like that. But anyways, that's been on my mind because I'm hungry and
Yeah, you're
You've
reminding me
also
I
been
did not
fasting
eat
during
dinner.
the sunlight or whatever. Like,
yeah, well, it is what it is. But this will get us canceled. And my name is Sam, and I live in Wisconsin.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
All right. All right. So this game actually had a pretty good reception back in the day. With even nowadays, it still gets talked about a lot. So Electronic Gaming Monthly gave it a 93%. Nintendo Life gave it a 9 out of 10. And pretty much the Mario Wiki said that the aggregate score, and I have a bunch here, I'm not going to read them all, but the aggregate score of all these different reviewers was 93.6. So it was a well-liked game. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
for obviously reasons. Whether you like this game or hate this game, if you go back to the lens of I didn't write down what year it was released.
1992.
Was it
1990.
91 or 92? Yeah.
92. I apparently did more homework than Brian.
Yeah, probably. Normally I write this stuff down, but I was too busy making the notes for you. But,
Yeah, you're right. I think it is 92.
So 1992, if you go
Yeah.
back to the scope of then, this game was groundbreaking.
Oh, yeah, there was nothing like it at the time, for
No,
sure.
absolutely not. And we
Yeah, I
mentioned
mean-
the Mode 7 graphics earlier. So for anybody who doesn't know what
Oh my
Mode
God.
7 is, your character, your avatar on the screen stays stationary, and you actually move the background, which is warped. And this is because, warp. And Mode 7 is actually the Super Nintendo adjusting the picture of the background in a 3D plane, quote unquote 3D plane, on
Yeah.
the fly, so that it looks somewhat decent.
It's very cool. I mean,
Idea of it is.
yeah. I mean, nowadays, obviously, modern 3D graphics have rendered this completely obsolete. But for the time, this is fucking crazy.
No, what I learned because I played this on my Switch through the SNES library, and someone with that apparently can get motion sick pretty easily, Mode 7 on a big screen TV is the worst thing to ever happen to you.
Oh,
I think I got through a cup, and I was literally over the toilet like I'm
Oh
about to
yeah.
heave. This is
Oh man.
bad. So
Yeah,
There's
that
been
was.
a couple
There
of
was one
games on
time that
Mode
I got
7.
just like a little bit too tipsy, and I started to I jumped on the Remember the Game Mario, like, oh, you want to play Mario Kart, and I started playing Mario Kart, and I just got the spins. I was like, nope, 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 nope.
Oh yeah, no. I would be on the floor in a moment if I tried to
Yeah,
play SNES Mario Kart while even a little buzzed. No.
yeah. Don't drink and drive.
Well, it's funny because this is pretty much the extreme of what Mode 7 does because it's been used in a lot of games. Like ActRaiser does it when you're in the not the you're not when you're city building as the angel, but as you're flying around in the palace, it's Mode
hmm
7. It's
It's
used in
kind of
Chrono
brief.
Trigger, but I don't know where. Final Fantasy 6 and actually Final Fantasy 4 through 6 use it as their airship mechanic.
hmm
So when you're flying the airship, it'll use Mode 7. So it's used all over the place, and there is
Hmm.
an extensive list of games that it's been
Oh,
used in.
don't forget about F-Zero.
Yes,
Oh
of
yeah,
course,
duh.
F-Zero being the
Yeah.
most
Yeah,
famous example of it.
Or
yeah. I
is
mean
this the
that's
most famous example?
Probably both.
I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, F-Zero came out first. That was a launch title, I think, right? And
Was
then
it?
I believe so for the Super Nintendo. And that, I mean, just imagine that. Like Mario Kart aside, and, Mario Kart is impressive, but like F Zero is like a hey,
Oh yeah.
there's this new console coming out, and check out this game and this crazy 3D mode of it's just would be mind blowing. But we're not talking about F Zero. We're talking about
We're
Yeah,
not.
really. Like
Mario
I
Kart
don't know
today.
where you're going with this. I was about to cut you off.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
You cut him off.
we're,
I'll push him
we're
to
talking
keep
about
going.
Mode 7, so you gotta throw in some other examples, and
Yeah,
F
we're
Zero is a
gonna
big one.
rename the podcast. Hey, welcome to Retro. Hey, look, a squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But what about the controls? What did you guys think about how the actual cart controlled with the Mode 7 graphics? Like, do you find having experience on Mario Kart 8 hampered you?
Oh,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, Mario Kart experience in general. Like, the first
Yeah.
one I dug deep into was probably 64 and then Double Dash, even more so. But yeah, going back to this, oh, it's so freaking slippery and everything else.
Yeah, it almost had that you know what we kind of criticize with Sonic, where it's like a fast game that gets really slow. Like you can't take a turn at speed.
Oh no, you're letting
No.
off the gas
Yeah,
constantly.
you have to let off the gas and kind of hop around the corners. I played as Yoshi, and Yoshi specifically is very slip slidey. Um, it's very slow. It's like you get to a corner and like stop and then
Mm-hmm.
ease your way around it and then accelerate again.
Yeah, it definitely takes some getting used to. And the one thing I had a big problem with is Mario Kart 8. You do the drifting, like you
Mhm.
do a little hop and you drift around the corner. And I kept trying to do it in this game,
Nope.
but it wasn't made in this game. So what you do to drift is you actually just keep turning, and eventually the cart will start actually drifting on its own. But setting yourself straight because it's not very friendly with the direction. Like if you're slightly off to the right, you're gonna just beeline straight into the wall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was and if you run into the wall once as Yoshi, it's like you're just going to be continuously bouncing off the walls for a while until you can get your cart handled again.
I know.
Yeah,
That's why I
it's
stuck
nuts.
with like Toad, just because it was like baby mode as much as it could be, and you can recover the easiest. Because I was like
Yeah.
pinballing everywhere.
I went with Mario as my main because he's a balance player, so I could fuck up on any three of the or four of the different criteria that they're balanced on and have a decent chance of getting back in the race.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I was pinballing all over the place if I ran into something for sure.
Oh yeah.
anything about the controls really notable to you? Like any of the levels? Like I know the Bowser level is a lot of 90-degree turns and stuff like that. Did you find that there was anything about the controls that really just drove you nuts?
You mean besides like a lot of it, steering in general? I mean, drifting took a minute to figure out, honestly, because it's so different than any other Mario Kart in this game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I figured out drifting at all. I know you can. I know there's a way to do it. I did not get the hang of it just picking it up and playing around with it this week.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's
Go ahead.
I was going to say no. It's one of those things that it comes over time, and
Hmm.
it's only useful in some of the tracks.
Yeah, I forced myself to try and use it just for the sake of like saying I tried, but
Yeah,
no,
but
more
there's no
times than not,
benefit
I
to it.
stopped.
Yeah, like there's no benefit to it. I mean, you drift
No,
around the corner and you bounce off a wall. That's it.
you
Like it
look
Yeah.
doesn't
cool
give
for
you any
about five
boost.
seconds, but that's about it.
Not even that.
I mean, I try and look cool.
Yeah. All right. So you guys only played a little bit of the game this week, you jackasses, and
Hey,
I don't know why I said
I
that.
yeah,
played
come on. I was
quite a
like,
bit.
what the? I did the entire 50cc, and I made it through the first couple of 100 before I had to go puke.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Awesome, because that brings us into modes. The three race modes, actually, as Wildcard mentioned, 50cc, which is basically the beginner, a great way to start out with to learn the crappy controls.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Then you have the 100cc, which is kind of like the professional cup, if you will. But after you beat all the races on the 100cc, you unlock the 150cc class.
I like
Did you
that.
know that?
Oh, yeah, I did. Because I did
Good.
homework because I
That
couldn't
is
play
true.
the game.
I really enjoy that. Like in current Mario Kart, like Mario Kart 8, if you're,
Hmm.
playing on the Switch or whatever, all of the modes basically are just kind of there for you. There's stuff to unlock, but I really like that there's a special race mode or like a special race speed that you can only unlock after you've beaten
Yeah,
everything
Yeah,
through.
kind of a reward for actually playing the game.
I
Yeah.
know. They carried it through for a bunch of other Mario Karts. I don't remember when they started just handing out everything. I want to say it was probably like the Wii generation.
Oh,
But
probably. Yeah,
yeah, even
that's
Double
the
Dash was like that.
participation trophy generation.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, because didn't you have to on Mario Kart 64 you had to unlock 152, didn't you?
yeah, it was pretty similar to this in that fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, Double Dash you had to unlock 150 Mirror Special Cup and then the 16 course cup as well.
Oh yeah, that forgot to mention there is that extra cup. There's that
Oh
extra
yeah.
circuit in 100, and you can't even attempt it until you've gotten. I think you might have to get gold on the first three. I like that kind of stuff. I like that there's things kind of hidden away that you can unlock as you go along.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
drove you to get
absolutely.
good.
Yeah, which I didn't.
No, me neither.
No, now the next one is the battle mode. I don't remember when they got rid of battle mode or if they ever did, and I just never noticed. But the battle mode is probably the best part of this game, playing multiplayer.
Yeah,
Really?
this battle mode on the SNES and on the 64 were among the best, multiplayer experiences on home consoles in the 90s, I would say. It was either this or you were playing, like GoldenEye or something like that.
Mm.
But like
Yeah,
this was a true multiplayer game where you're actually competing against each other live.
Yeah, ends friendships, destroys families. It's a great time.
Oh yeah.
well, it's the monopoly of Super Nintendo games.
Exactly.
But yeah, battle mode was fairly simple. I mean, you basically had most of the items. Some of them were not in battle mode. I have a list down later
Hmm.
in the podcast notes here. But yeah, you had these arenas, and you basically just drove around. You got the items, and you tried to pop the balloons on each other. And there's four courses, one based off of the Donut Plains type of surface, one off of the Koopa Beach surface, one off the Vanilla Lake, which is the ice level surface, and then one off the Mario course, which is just tarmac.
I
But
like that
Yeah.
one.
yeah, they're all the same thing, just square courses. Did
Yeah,
you guys
Yeah.
get
but
a chance to dabble with that at all?
I did not,
no, not
unfortunately.
this time around. I played it as a kid, but I did not get to this time around.
Yeah, I do remember getting into some fights about this. Like, bullshit. Like, my red shell should have hit you.
Oh yeah, that is frustrating though. Sometimes the red shell just kind of like fucks off and does whatever
Well,
it wants.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts on the items too, if we want to get into that now.
Well, we're going to get into that in a minute, so just hold it in.
Okay.
Hold it
Oh.
in.
That was me
All right,
holding it.
yeah.
If you couldn't tell.
Because I'm just going to go over the last mode, which is very simple. It's just a time trial mode, you versus the clock, and you get on there and you just start ripping around and you try to beat your time. And I think there's a ghost if the ghost of the best time, so you can actually race the ghost.
That was revolutionary too. That was
Mhm.
that was something that was replicated, copied in a lot of different games.
Oh, it was a great idea, but I don't
Just
think
like,
this is where it or originated from.
well, I mean, as at least for a kart racer, like including that was important. I think,
Oh
I think
yeah,
I'm sure other racing games had time trials with ghosts and stuff like that, but this was a um, just unique that it was a character based like kart game, but it almost with a time trial mode like that, it almost makes it more of a serious racer than a goofy one.
Yeah, absolutely. Time travel was fun when you just wanted to pick up and have a quick go at the tracks there without all the hassle of the items and stuff
I
like
was gonna
that.
say without doing a whole Grand Prix or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, or just
Yeah,
like practice a course,
well, I do that in Mario Kart 8 as well. Sometimes I just
Hmm.
don't want to play with anybody, so I'll just pick it up and I'll just do a time trial there. Try to figure out the courses and how to get from 10th place to ninth place in my average ranking.
Yeah.
As you do.
All right, moving on into the characters. This does not have the amount of characters that the other games have. It has the basic 8 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 characters. As Mario and Luigi, who are very balanced racers. This is the thing I don't like about the game is you have 2 characters for every kind of class.
What's wrong
So
with
I get
that?
it. Well, I get it. It's meant for 2 players, but it could have
Yeah.
they could have kind of made everybody race a little bit differently. But that's just me. But you have Mario and Luigi who are very balanced in their stats. Princess and Yoshi who have fast acceleration but poor handling. Bowser and Donkey Kong Jr., who have high top speeds, are good weight, so you can't bounce them around, but they can accelerate worth crap. And then Koopa Troopa and Toad, who have okay acceleration and handling, but very low top speed, and they can be bumped all over the place.
Yeah,
Who
you
was
get.
your main?
I was Toad, and oh yeah, you get sent flying if you run into Donkey Kong Jr. or Bowser.
Yeah.
It's literally a race ender. Sometimes you're on a straightaway, they nudge you, and you're careening into a wall.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you have the coins in this game as well. If you're out of
Oh yeah,
coins, you get spun out right away.
yeah. There's that too.
Yeah, I stuck with the first few times I played a circuit when I fired it up. I was Donkey Kong Jr. and I didn't like how slowly he accelerated, just because I was constantly having to slow down for turns, and then it was like, well, now I'm going slow. So I went with Yoshi, and yeah, you get flung quite a bit, and I guess his handling is very terrible.
It is. It is. I have it right in the notes here. Poor handling for Yoshi.
Yeah, for sure. Can
Now,
confirm.
back in the day, I've played as all the characters. These days, like I said, I like Mario because I like the balanced nature of him. Probably could pick Luigi because he's no different, just like every other Mario game. Uh, Lost my train of thought. I'm just going to keep waxing poetic until I get it back. Oh yeah,
What
I
about the
remember.
other
Yeah,
characters that you raced?
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah. No, I didn't like the Bowser Donkey Kong Jr. either. I didn't like. I'm somebody who ends up bumping into things a lot, so I need that acceleration.
I know. That's what I was gonna say too. I was like, I was
Yeah.
just too absolute shit at this to play a heavy character with no acceleration.
I could
Yeah.
say though, if you're super good and you don't lose your
Oh
momentum,
yeah,
you could really probably fly with a Bowser or DK Jr.
yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, same goes for the modern games, but it's a little bit different. It's just
Yeah.
since this game has such a weird kind of control scheme.
Well, there's another weird aspect to the characters. Every character had a rival, I guess you could call it. Like
Mhm.
Yes.
if you're racing, you'd notice somebody would always come in second, third, and fourth, and very rarely that you'd be able to knock them out of their place. And like Mario, uh, he will always come in second to Donkey Kong Jr., who will always be the one who's like throwing bananas at you to take you out of first place there.
Mhm.
But every character has a list like that, so it kind of comes down to who you want to beat and how you drive. Like Koopa Troopa's his rival is Luigi. Donkey Kong Jr.'s rival is Toad, which is weird because you could just knock Toad off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that rhymes, so you know it's true.
Did it?
Yes.
Toad and Road? Oh,
Toad-
okay.
yeah.
Off the
I
road.
thought you were trying to rhyme Donkey Kong Jr. with Toad, and I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, that works.
Broke me.
Yeah, I would get really irritated with my rival or whatever. Like as I was usually playing Yoshi, like Koopa Troopa would always be like up my tailpipe, and I'd be like, just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
And the
but that
rubber banding in this was crazy.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
that was the thing is like Toad and what's his nuts there are really slow. Koopa Troopa and Toad are like low top speed, but all of a sudden they're second place in the entire thing and nobody can pass them. Like, come on, take me
Yeah.
right out of the realism of this game.
Yeah, it's very like it's interesting. I mean, in the notes here, you put the rival order as a
Hmm.
grid, and it's very helpful. But it's like, yeah, when I was playing as Yoshi, that was pretty much your top four was always Yoshi, Koopa Troopa, DK Jr., and Princess. And then I think it pretty much stuck to like those are the places that those guys are getting in every
Yeah, the only
race.
way you
And
can knock him out is if you lucked out and took one of them out with a banana on the
Mhm.
last corner right before the
Yeah.
finish line.
Yeah,
I wonder
and
if this
you're
was like a memory issue of SNES cartridges. The fact that it's scripted, like
yeah,
this person will be this, yada yada yada. So there's no like RNG to it. I
Yeah,
find it odd.
probably.
you're really the X factor when it comes to
Hmm.
like how the places are going to shake out and stuff like that. They're going to do what they're going to do. It just all depends on you. Like if you don't get first, then it's kind of you
You ain't
know
first, you're last.
I live my
yeah,
life as an
well
X
basically
factor,
yeah.
so yeah, I appreciate that.
All right, some of the NPCs of interest in this, or you have bullet bills on some of the levels. You got the flopping cheep cheep, which are the fish. Ghosts appear in the ghost house. Gophers appear on the donut plains. The piranha plants are in. I can't remember which level off
They
top of
might
my
be in
head.
the
Mario
No,
Circuit, yeah,
not the Mario Circuit. The
Chocolate
one of
Land,
yeah,
yeah. No, I remember. I was just playing it earlier before this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chocolate
yep.
Land. That is correct. Thank you. The Thwomps and the Super Thwomps are in Bowser's Castle, which we'll get into levels here in a little bit in a little bit. The only one I didn't like of these was the Gophers.
Yeah, those were
yeah.
tough to avoid.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that they're tough to avoid. Is like they would hop out right at the most inopportune time, and like you're bumping somebody and you get knocked into them, and of course all of a sudden they pop out like you were almost safe.
It's very scripted when they pop out. It's like, oh, it's gonna pop out right when it's key to hit you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it just became frustrating, but you avoid them 99% of the time, so it's a minor frustration.
exactly.
But other than that, any comments on any of these? Any ones you particularly liked or disliked?
Nah, I found myself getting stuck behind a thwomp on some of the Bowser's castles. Just timed it poorly, and I'm like, I live here now until you decide to move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those were pretty nice and random seeming. Like you could
Mhm.
see when they would go up and down, and then sometimes you would pass under them and none of them would move, and then other times they would all go down at once. It's just like, yeah, it's challenging.
Yeah.
yeah, the Thwomps definitely were a pain in my ass, or my front end as I crash into them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that. Now let's get into the part Wildcard is talking about, and we're going to be talking about the items.
You mean the useless things you drive over that don't do anything besides coins?
Yeah, there's a weird item system in this, and
Yeah.
I was going through the wiki there, and it had like this huge list, like chart of the items of what you get. And something I found that was quite interesting was on the first lap, nobody has an advantage at all. Like nobody has a place advantage.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So everybody has the same chance of getting everything on the first lap. And then
Huh.
from there, your position determines what you get. The further ahead you are, the worse item you get. So you get a lot of banana peels and coins if you're in first place.
Yeah, I just felt that so many of the items like either did not work or were like I don't even know, like just borderline useless.
Yeah, and you can't hang them out the back of your car either, like
No.
you can in
No.
Mario Kart 8. So that's something I forgot, and I kept pissing green shells out my behind.
Oh, it's so like satisfying to actually hit someone with a green shell. Like
Oh, in this, yeah.
in this game, because it's so tough to line up your shot.
Oh, it's
like,
damn near
satisfying with
impossible.
Any game, like
yeah,
you got to be pretty goddamn close to hit somebody with a green shell, because the only person I hit with a green shell when I fire it is myself.
I feel like I can lead my target a little bit better in a Mario Kart 8 or like
Yeah.
Target.
Mario Kart 64, but like this is like you have to be straight on.
Well, that's the mode 7 there. Like
Yeah.
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
If you're like one pixel to the left, next thing you know, you're in a wall and the green shells up your ass.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
No, the feather's been brought up a few times, and I know Wildcard. You said you found it useless, but
Yes.
would
I like
you
the
like
feather.
it to be brought back if it was improved? How would you improve it?
I mean, I play like battle mode occasionally in 8, which does have it.
Yeah.
Which and I there's not a ton of use. Like it works as a great little defensive if you have like a red shell or something coming at you, just as another alternative. But I feel like there's so many other items that do the same thing nowadays.
Okay, so yeah, there is a feather in spirit then, I guess.
Yeah, like I could use the feather mid race and avoid a red shell, or I can also use a banana. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd love the red shell or the, not red shell, the feather to come back. In the race mode, I find it completely useless in battle mode. I
Oh
just
yeah.
as soon as I get one, I just burn it and look for a new item. But in this game, it's like you can hop over certain walls, especially in like the Mario circuits, and cut off like just complete full portions of the race. You can get so far ahead by using the feather. It's kind of broken if you get one in the right race.
yeah, it's definitely something that, and I liked it in battle mode to be honest, because I would hold on to it until I found another coin block to get something else. And the feather was great because if they did shoot a red shell at you, you hop over a wall and that's your defense against a red shell. But
That's true.
other than that, besides shortcutting, yeah, the feather was pretty useless.
Yeah.
But other notable items are the banana peel, which is basically the same in every game. The green and red shell, the red being your ultimate weapon, I guess, in this game, as the
Yeah,
green
I'd say
shell has
so.
not been invented yet. The feather, which we mentioned, the mushroom, which gives you a burst of speed, the star, which makes your handling 100% and makes you invulnerable,
Yeah.
the ghost, which steals everybody's crap and makes you invisible, and then, of course, everybody's favorite, the coin.
Is it one coin? Because it looks like three or
Uh,
four like
I
pop
think
out.
it's 2, if
Is it
I
two?
Yeah.
if I'm remembering right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it
and I
looks like
forgot, sorry, the lightning as well, which is everybody's favorite, but we'll save that for a conversation in a minute here.
Okay. I do appreciate that the mushroom. I will say this out of all the items, the mushroom like really works in this one. Like you go to the moon with this thing
Yeah, and
compared
it
to other
gets you
Mario
over.
Karts.
Yeah, and it gets you over those dirt areas that normally slow you down. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
other Mario Karts, I find that the mushroom like peters out halfway through, and you
Oh
just
yeah.
come to a damn near halt. But this will like fire you all the way through it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's like in current Mario Karts, it's like, oh, is there a gap with some grass that you clearly should be able to boost over if you have a like a mushroom? It's like, oh wait, no, you only get 3/4 of the way across, and then
Yeah.
you're just crawling.
Yeah, all your momentum's deadened.
Yeah, I know. And this one, like the mushroom's not just for shortcuts. It's like, oh no, I can actually use this to catch up to people as
Yeah,
an item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
don't
shortcuts
use
are
it on a
great in
turn
this
though.
game.
I never managed to freaking hit any of them, but yeah, I'm sure they are.
Oh, the little floor boosters.
Oh yeah, those.
Oh, those two as well. No, we were talking the shortcuts are like the little gaps in the Mario
There,
circuit.
yeah, there's
Like
some.
hitting them with the mushroom there is gives you a good lead.
Yeah,
It's
there aren't
satisfying.
many, but there's definitely a couple spots where you can blast through.
Oh, absolutely. So there's a couple of oh, sorry, before we get to that, the lightning. I'm just going to
Oh yeah.
say that anybody who uses the lightning bolt in any version of Mario Kart is an asshole. Period.
Agreed.
Full stop.
Yep.
Like, oh god, this is the most annoying of all the friggin' like items because it kills your speed. And again, if you're playing like with a Bowser or DK Junior, there, you've lost the ability to get ahead because your acceleration's so goddamn slow. Like,
Yeah.
if you didn't lose the momentum, I wouldn't be so pissed off at this item.
Oh, it's just so hard to get back going after it.
Oh yeah,
Well, there's the other thing too of like the NPC items as well, which
yeah.
Yeah, those I did not appreciate.
No.
For sure. You're like your whoever your pesky rival is that's like right behind you is going to be behind you throwing shit at you the entire time.
I'm more upset that I can't get them.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
right.
kind of
Like,
sucks. Like they throw them forward and they just kind of sit there. So like
Yeah.
Yoshi's got his egg, Bowser has the fireball, Toad has a poison mushroom, and then
hmm
I think Peach has that poison mushroom too.
Yeah, Peach has
oh,
it as
probably,
well.
yeah.
And I think Mario and Luigi also have fireballs, or no, I think they just have bananas and shells.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
it's they don't shoot anything. Their personal
No.
weapons aren't launchable. They're just basically banana peels with
I
different
noticed because I
pixels.
played as Yoshi a lot. The Koopa Troopa had a shell that it would throw forward, and it would just sit in the middle of
Yeah.
the. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like a banana version of the shell.
and the poison mushrooms. I used to go and try to like, oh, it's a boost mushroom. Nope,
Yup.
no, it was
No,
not.
That's what I
no.
did when I picked this up. I'm like, oh, sweet, mushroom on the ground. And then just be like, oh, great, I'm the only person lightning. This
It's
sucks.
like that. It's like that horrible poison mushroom in Super Mario 2, like the Lost Levels
Yeah.
version, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a different kind of mushroom. It's like, no, you're dead.
Yeah. Oh, look, the skull told me that it's poisonous. I've been taught that my entire life, but I'm going to eat it anyway. Say
Yeah.
that, little Brian. Right
I don't
as he
know.
goes for all the drain cleaner under the sink. Mmm, cherry
Yeah.
flavor.
It goes great with the paint chips if you peel them off the cabinet. It's a
Oh,
nice
yeah.
chaser.
Oh yeah.
So moving along here because we're not promoting kids drinking chemicals, but
Yeah, no.
Your
yeah,
kids
we
shouldn't
have
be listening to this anyways. Don't listen to this.
I got our demographics. Our women listeners are declining severely.
I can't imagine why.
Are they really?
They are. We've gone down by 5%. Anyways, that's not the
Sorry,
topic
ladies.
today. So we have different types of hazards, which are actually both representative of the hazards of the level and the level type themselves. So you have water hazards, lava hazards, the abyss, destructible blocks, dirt, and chocolate mud. Which I love chocolate mud. Just sounds so dirty.
It really does.
Yeah. So the water is on the Koopa Beach levels. Koopa
Yeah.
Beach levels. So the water slows you down. The lava is obviously in Bowser's Castle. The abyss is the one Rainbow Road level or track there
Mhm.
is. The destructible blocks are in the Ghost House. The dirt is in both the Mario Circuit and Donut Plains. And finally, the chocolate mud is in the Chocolate Island.
Oh, but sir, you've missed the most annoying hazard.
Oh, Jesus, I didn't write down the ice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
the ice
man.
is bad.
The worst, most annoying hazard I've seen in Mario Kart, especially with Mode 7.
I
just-
like how I gave you this document a week in advance for you to look over. You reviewed it, did a little bit of study, and you held on to that just for this friggin' moment.
Yeah.
I would
Oh, yeah, you did
never
that one.
do something like that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you have it like bold letters in your own document. Mention the ice.
Oh, you're lucky I didn't just edit the document and just really make you sound bad.
Oh, I don't need you to make me sound bad. You've been listening.
Good point.
I hate
Alright.
Vanilla Lake. That ice, those two ice
Oh,
levels
yeah.
are the worst. It's
They are
funny,
the
it's like,
absolute worst.
it's the shortest course. It's just like a really short loop around the
Oh,
square.
yeah.
But
It's a circle.
yeah, it's just a circle, but it's full of so many hazards and so much bullshit that it's so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite track type? Let's go something positive here for a
Yeah.
second.
Good idea.
'Cause
The Mario circuits are
Yeah.
easily the best, I would
love
say.
the Mario circuits too.
Yeah. What about you,
Yeah,
Brian?
they're pretty classic. I mean, there's 4 of them, but I
Yeah.
honestly, no, I'm not even going to fight. The Mario circuits are the best.
They
Outside of the Mario
yeah.
circuits, I'd go with the Donut Plains.
Yeah, that's the next, I would say.
I'd say I like the Bowser castles. I think they're pretty cool.
Oh, those
Oh,
weren't
the
A lot
90
of
those were not kind for the motion sick department. All the
no,
lava.
the
yeah.
90 degrees
No.
are what get me on those.
Yeah, no, those were the ones where I'm like, I need to set this down soon.
the Bowser Castle 3 that's in the Star Cup is
Oh,
got
yeah.
like some crazy weird stuff going on with it, and I think there's Bowser's Castle 2 has some, like, they do the thing where just like in Super Mario for the NES where you have to navigate your way through some of those later Bowser's castles. They
Mhm.
do tricky shit to try to throw you off, and I appreciated that about the Bowser levels.
I would appreciate something like this in future Mario Karts. Just the fact that there's a Bowser Castle 1, 2, and 3 just variants of every track would be really nice.
Yeah,
Just to
just like
change
a
it
more
up.
difficult or more complicated version of the
Yeah.
one before it. Yeah.
Yeah, just change the pathing around.
No, that'd be the thing. Like you have multiple circuits on one map there, and you can just choose version 1, 2, or 3, and it just changes where you turn. Like
Yeah.
same map, different turns.
Unlike those stupid tour tracks that change mid-lap, but
I hate
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Oh man. All right. You guys mentioned the ice level is your least favorite. I'm going
yeah.
with Ghost Valley. Ghost Valley always fucks me over. Every
It's
single
pretty bad.
time I will bounce off the same block, and when
Yep.
you bounce off the walls, the block disappears. So the second time you do the lap, because I'm such a consistent racer, I'll fly right off the track because that block is no longer there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not to mention the Rainbow Road on this one. I don't even think there's any sides to this one. You can
No.
just fall off.
There's
willy-nilly.
no sides to most Rainbow Roads though.
Yeah, that's the joy of Rainbow Road.
Yeah, some of the newer ones have been kind of like, I don't want to say nerfed, but like they're not as hard as just a straight up track over an abyss.
That
It
being
was funny.
Go ahead.
I was going to say it was funny. Last time I was playing Rainbow Road because we played it a lot with Mario Kart 8 on your Mario Kart
Mhm.
nights there, and I really like very big memories of the Mario Kart 8 ruined this Rainbow Road because all I could think of was the Mario Kart 8 version, and
Which plays substantially better than this one.
that's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep.
it plays substantially better, but it's the exact same track. So like I'm going through it and I'm like, come on, slide, 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 jump, jump, jump. Why am I not drifting? Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that helped me with the courses I knew from Mario Kart 8. So I didn't make it to Rainbow Road because of, puking. But Bowser's Castle 3, I think Mario Circuit 4 is the one in 8. But yeah, just like having some muscle memory of, oh, I know this layout actually helped a ton going into this like relatively fresh.
Which is kind of nice. What
It
do you
is.
guys think of the other levels, like the Koopa Beach there? I didn't find those ones too bad, but I didn't love them either.
They were fine. I kind of like Koopa Beach.
I
did not enjoy Choco Island.
No. Koopa Beach, like all the Koopa levels were like, I found to be the easier tracks.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah.
There's only 2 of them, but they're pretty.
They're essentially
pretty-
glorified circles
Yeah,
without a
and
lot of
also-
hazard.
And the only thing is the water slows you down there if you don't hit it right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
and
not
you've
even
got
that
those-
bad.
There's like little jumps to like hop over part of it. So if you hit those, then you don't lose as much of your speed.
But now that,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So anything else about the levels before we just kind of carry on here? And
Do you guys have
No.
a favorite cup?
Well,
Um,
that's a great question because
Yeah, I didn't mean to halt the conversation entirely.
No,
Jeez.
No,
well,
it's
it's just
just
Flower and the Star Cup because they have the good Mario circuits on them. Like Mario Circuit 3 and 4
hmm
are my favorite courses in the game. So playing Flower or Star Cup, then you get to play those.
I don't think I've ever played this game without going Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, Star Cup in that order every time I play the game. So
That's
I
not
can't say any of them were my favorite, but I'm gonna go with the Special Cup because I don't play that one very often.
I was
I
gonna
kind
say
of like the newness of it.
I can't speak to the special cup unfortunately, but I'd say the Star Cup just because of the Bowser Castle and like Sam said, the Mario circuits. They're just
Yeah.
good. I mean, you do unfortunately have a vanilla lake in there, but I can look past it.
Oh,
Yeah,
what did you
well.
guys think of there being 5 laps?
That threw me.
It's so weird. It's like you're on lap 4 and the laps go really quick, but still it's like, oh man, this is it. And it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
you've got a couple more laps.
No.
Did you let off the gas the first time like I did?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, I win. Oh no. I
Put the
didn't.
controller down, go for a pop, come back, and it's like, oh fuck, I lost. How?
Oh, actually you lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fits
Hey,
though with how small they are.
So, second to last topic we got going on here is, with the racing and everything. How did you feel about the music? Was it a good soundtrack there that kind of went with the game? Because you didn't get a lot of music, obviously, just blaring at you. And I can't even remember if there's music in the tracks. I'm pretty sure there is.
Oh, there
but
is.
Oh yeah. The Mario
No.
circuit music is great.
All of them
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of chiptune trumpet, is whatever you want to call it, because that's essentially what the Mario circuits are.
Yeah, where it's like,
Oh yeah, now I can hear them. I can hear the
yeah,
Bowser Castle.
Oh no, I went and listened to the soundtrack because I was like, I want something positive to say about this game at least. But no, the soundtrack I thought was really good for this, with the exception of the boo tracks because they're
Yeah,
just
they were
empty and
generic.
boring
yeah. It's just like the yeah. It's like the
the whole
Ghost
time.
House, the Super Nintendo
Yeah,
Ghost House. Yeah,
Yeah, right from Super Mario World. There, those. I don't know. I never liked the ghost houses because I don't like listening to that repetitive dee doo dee doo dee like you just sang.
exactly. That's all it is.
No, but now, yeah, it all came flooding back to me, and I just kind of remember the hard hitting chip tune of the
Hmm.
Bowser Castle there. Okay, they really went with the motif of the actual level itself,
Oh, big time.
so
Yeah, yeah.
I
The Koopa
enjoyed the music.
Beaches definitely have beach vibe and all that. Bowser
It makes you want to
Castle
get
sounds
your,
like boss battle music.
wants to make you get your Hawaiian shirt on there and go out to the beach and just play that song on repeat on a speaker so everybody can listen.
just
Just your
vibes,
Hawaiian
man.
shirt, though. Nothing else.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
Donald Duck in it all the way.
Winnie the Pooh mode. You do it, man.
Hawaiian shirt, no bottoms.
Yeah.
Mario Kart on the boombox.
So, with the music obviously out of the way, I'll probably put a little bit of the music sample here, but probably
Yeah.
not. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. There's some I have it written down as glitches, but the only
Mhm.
one I really found that was noteworthy was called the continued boost. So you pick
Hmm.
up a mushroom, use it, hop close to a corner, and if you do it right, it can be used to do a sub 10-second lap.
That's crazy.
I
Yeah.
meant to look up a video of this before we started, but I forgot about the glitches section here because we've been kind of taking it out the last little while.
Hmm.
Uh, you guys know that it's not so much a glitch, but the same thing in all Mario Karts, where if you hit the accelerator right between the first and the second light, you get that boost off the line.
I
Yeah.
did when I read this in the notes before playing it.
Yeah, and that is the only way I find useful or that makes Bowser and Donkey Kong useful is if you can
Yeah.
get that boost and then
Yeah.
not hit anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, if you can drive good in this game, is totally possible because it's easy to dodge items and everything in this. So yeah, you hit that off the go, you're gonna be untouched the whole race.
Yeah. Weird thing is, have you ever in a Mario Kart? And I'm kind of bad at Mario Kart, so I'm not a good example. But have you ever used a brake to go around a corner, like just to slow down and apex it
Constantly.
and then speed back up?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't do that because I'm just
You
kart
have
racer
to in
feels like you
200.
hit the
Yeah.
accelerator and go.
Yeah,
It's
no,
what you
you have
want
to
to
use the
do.
brake in 200 or you're going to hit walls and go all
Oh, I'll
crazy.
use it even in 150 just to, have clean lines and
Maybe
really
I'll start
win.
doing that.
I mean,
Teach
Yeah.
me.
try. I don't think you're
All
going
right.
to get above 8th, but you can try.
No, I never get above 8th. I think 8 is my like magic number.
Hell
But
of a number.
all right, so we've talked about it all. Let's summarize our thoughts here. And Wildcard as a guest, you get first crack at the summary and your feelings. Go at it. Don't be gentle.
Well, for how hard I went on this the whole time, honestly, you can see the building blocks of this game throughout like the rest of the franchise. Like probably the most experience I have is probably Double Dash next to 8, and like everything from the music, items, rubber banding, all of it, it's all there. So, while as much as I hate to play this game, you can tell they set up a really good system to just, keep re-releasing to us with updated graphics year after year cuz that's all they ever have done. But it's a necessary evil at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Sam, how do you feel about this game?
Um, yeah, it's fun and it has its place in the history of gaming as a a very solid gaming memory for a lot of folks that are our age or a little bit older. But you're not necessarily gonna go back nowadays and be wowed by this game. But it's yeah, like Wildcard said, it's got its place. It's it basically it must something's got to crawl before a game's after it can walk or run, and I
Oh,
think this
big
is a
time.
good example of kind of creating a genre It's not going to define the genre, but it's definitely where it started.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's fun to play from just to go back and see how things were.
Mm-hmm. It's
No,
as fun as reading a history book.
And it makes you barf just as much. I love that
Yeah.
it made you barf.
yeah, that's actually my favorite part of this is
Yeah.
it makes you sick.
I really had to keep that under wraps before we hit record because I knew.
Finding out that you barfed was just like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Like that's how I feel about VR.
yeah, I can't do that stuff.
No, you look the wrong way in VR. You're on the vomit coaster. It's bad.
Yeah.
Well, I
you're
feel
screwed.
for like my, playing video games as a kid and playing split screen, like my dad could not last very long with split screen because he'd get dizzy.
Oh,
from
yeah.
it. So I can definitely now with VR and playing stuff like this or getting tipsy and trying to play Mario Kart 8, I definitely can relate now.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. This like 10, 15 years ago. Oh yeah, no, I'd be fine. I'd be like, I play this all night and I feel great.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I don't get dizzy from this.
Yeah, meanwhile,
As I
20 minutes of this and I'm like, oh god.
Got a fan on you there. You're sweating. You glass of water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'll sum up our thoughts here before we get into the scoring. But what I liked about this game is the memories I have with it. Like I said, I got it pretty early on, so it's like going back to an old friend's house. And so you start the game and you just have fun. And there's no online. There's no real competitive nature to this game if you don't have friends to come over and play on the couch. And being an adult, nobody does anymore.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it did really, like you guys said, set the game franchise's building blocks so they can improve it. And I fell out of Mario Kart. Like I did Mario Kart 64, and then the next Mario Kart I played was Mario Kart 7, but that was when we bought my kids 2DS.
Mm-hmm.
Way after it was released, because even though I had like a Switch, or not a Switch, GameCube and a Wii and a Wii U, I never actually picked up Mario Kart again. So I picked up Mario Kart 8 when I joined the Remember the Game community, and that was my reintroduction into the series. So this game's always been the one I would always go back to, because I do really have a love for retro games.
Oh no! All right, you've missed some gold then
Yeah.
too.
I was gonna say we should talk about like what's your favorite entry in Mario Kart, like in the series.
Double Dash, hands down.
Double Dash.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play too much Double Dash. I definitely played 64 and then played a lot of Mario Kart Wii, and I thought that was like, you're playing that, it's like, wow, it's one of those moments where you think, does it get any better than this? Like Mario Kart Wii was a good game.
Mario Kart Wii was solid.
Outside of the big two, GoldenEye and Super Mario or Mario 64, I don't actually really remember playing any game on the Nintendo 64 because it was such an underwhelming system in my life. That I know I've played a lot of these games, but I just don't have any memories of them.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of Mario Kart, and
we need to fix this.
I had Diddy Kong Racing. I didn't actually own Mario Kart until later, but everyone else had it, so
yeah.
I want Mario Kart. We have Mario Kart at home, and then it's just Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah,
some would argue that's better than Mario Kart. Honestly,
fucking awesome, dude.
All right, if and when I come back, there needs to be some 60. Well, I was gonna say Mario Kart 64. Definitely, if you guys have not touched Double Dash.
Oh yeah.
Wow, yeah. We're still looking into accessibility of newer games, but
I know that's where it gets tricky.
Retro games.
Yeah.
But definitely we'll talk about it.
Oh
Double
yeah.
Dash,
All right.
I'd like to play.
Let's wrap this up. Wildcard, you have the first opportunity to give this a score out of 10. What would you give Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo?
Well, just out of respect of what it did, and literally only because of respect of what it did, I would give it like a 6, just because it's like, we need it for everything else, but the music probably gave it a couple of good points, and maybe the mushroom, but that's about it.
6 is not as 6 doesn't mean it's a bad game. I like that. I
6 means I respect it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people take the scoring system there, and if it isn't a 9 or above, they're like, it sucks.
Yeah.
No, 6 is a respectable score.
Yeah.
It's above average. right? Sam,
Exactly.
is this game above average to you?
Yeah, I think it is. Especially if you're looking at other games that were coming out at the time. I'm gonna give this a seven
That's
and a
true.
half, 7.5. Um, even though it doesn't hold up to modern kart racers or Mario Kart, I'm not gonna play this instead of playing Mario Kart 8. But
No.
it definitely, like, playing it this week, I definitely enjoyed myself and found myself, especially in the courses that I liked, like really kind of getting into a groove, and it's very satisfying to go through the courses. So, and music, of course, was great, especially that
Oh
Super
yeah.
Mario circuit.
Yeah,
Just
that's where it got its bump.
yes.
Hands down.
So yeah, it's a good game.
All right. 7.5 is a good score. 6 is not as good of a score, but this is what we expect from the guy that we don't respect.
Hands down.
I'm going to give it the nostalgia bump. I'm going to go 8.5 myself
Wow. Oh,
because, like I said, this is a game. I obviously mentioned I don't have a lot of Mario Kart experience there, and this game was a big part of my childhood. So, music is fantastic. When you can play the game and you're good at it, it is a fun game, and it is back on the Nintendo Switch on Nintendo Online. So
Yeah.
it
yeah.
is definitely worth playing for any retro fan, and I'm going to give it just that little extra bump. You know what? I'm going to go down to an 8 just because.
Okay, I can breathe again.
Yeah, just
Oh,
because eight and a
that's
half.
his 80.
It does have a little bit of. It's been done better since. Kind of
For
knocks it
sure.
Yeah.
down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I'm standing.
But
Any
still, I
arguments
mean,
with
if
that
you can
before I
remember a
cut you off?
time, what's that?
I said any arguments with that before I cut your mic off?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, if you remember a time before Mario Kart 64, this game was king.
Yeah.
And it definitely deserves a bump for that, I'd say.
Oh yeah. Speaking of the bump, we do have a tier listing here. I haven't been keeping it up to date, so.
Cool.
But to give you an idea, Stick of Truth and Super Mario RPG hit the S tier, and these are games that we pretty much say are a must play, and we both have to agree that it's a must play. Nothing hits the S or the F tier without both of us agreeing.
Yep, we need a
So
100% majority.
absolutely. So the A, B, C, D, and E tiers are all negotiable, and we can bounce back and forth, and that's where the discussion happens. So, Wildcard, where would you put this on the tier list from A to F or S?
I immediately want to throw it in D tier just because of how much I despised this, but I respect it enough to at least give it a C.
You're
Okay.
gonna go up to C. Oh my!
I know.
Sam,
Passing
are
here
you
in
gonna,
America.
Are you going to agree with him, or are you
No, I
going
was
to
gonna put
just?
this in the A tier. I was
What
looking
the
at I was looking at it from the perspective like other games out at the time, and this is an A tier game. This was a high quality game.
What is wrong with you?
You young kids not respecting your
Yeah, the origins of your
elders.
stuff you love.
I was not good at this game even back in the day, but there was nothing else like it. So that's an A for me.
And I'm going to go ahead and agree with Sam. It's not an S tier game. It's not a must play, but it is definitely a worth playing game. So I'm going to put it up in the A tier as well, thus nullifying Wildcard's opinion.
I was gonna say we were
Which is
all
gonna
friends before the tier ranking.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, we weren't. All right, so that's going to do it for another episode of Retrotopia. Sam, what do we got coming up next week?
Next week we'll be talking about Illusion of Gaia for the Super Nintendo. And until next time, keep on gaming.
Terrible.